Today we're exploring the necessary evil that is the CDM site induction. When you boil this video down, it's basically just advice on how to give a good presentation. And you might be wondering what qualifies me, a health and safety professional, to instruct you on how to not bore the pants off people. The answer to that question is, I am a health and safety professional, meaning I've spent hours and hours of my life sitting through the most boring lectures and presentations you could ever imagine. In other words, I know exactly what not to do as a presenter. Although this video may not end up being the best showcase of this. In all seriousness, I do hope you find this video useful because, as we all know, a solid site induction really sets the stage for a safe and successful project. With that in mind, here are some top tips on how to keep your site induction from becoming a shite induction. Preparing for a site induction is a lot like studying for an exam. No one wants to do it, but if you don't do it, you're pretty f***ed. When it comes to preparing for a site induction, you need to know the site specifics. Thankfully, we have pre-construction information and a construction phase plan, which gives us all the answers. These documents will outline everything from the locations of asbestos to the locations of the lavatories, as well as all the critical safety information for the project that you need to communicate to your on-site teams. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to write the entire script and account for every detail. You just have to gather the relevant site-specific information that will ensure everyone's safety on the project. Break down the topics that you need to cover and organise them in a logical order. I recommend introduction and key site contacts, site layout, such as locations of welfare facilities, car parking, fire doors, etc. Emergency procedures, such as what you do in the case of a fire or an accident. Documentation, such as key policies, competency requirements, permits and checklists. And finally, site rules and key site hazards. It sounds obvious, but this is crucial if you want to maintain a smooth flow and ensure that there's nothing missed. Tip 2, don't make it a monologue. As I'm about to demonstrate, there's nothing worse than being spoken at endlessly in a one-way conversation.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Site inductions aren't meant to be a one-sided monologue. They're a chance to engage with everyone involved in the project so you can all be on the same page.
2 hours later.
That's why you should always ask questions, encourage participation, and create a comfortable environment for everyone to speak up.
1 eternity later.
After all, each team member brings their own experiences and unique perspective to the project. By creating a safe space for their voices to be heard, you can empower them to take ownership of their safety and the success of the project. And those are the reasons why we should never approach a site induction as a monologue. Let's embrace the power of dialogue and turn site inductions into a vibrant conversation that leaves no stone unturned and no voice unheard, giving your project the best possible chance of... Tip 3, don't do death by PowerPoint. If you really want to nail your site induction, a PowerPoint presentation alone isn't going to cut it. Death by PowerPoint is real and it's brutal. Having said that, PowerPoint does have its uses. You can stick up a few bullet points and then talk around them. Just make sure you don't write lengthy blocks of text and read them out. That'll go down like a root canal without anaesthesia. That being said, make sure the points in your slides clearly outline the message you are trying to get across, as you need to be able to demonstrate clear communication of safety information, and your slides may be scrutinised by the HSE or solicitors in the event of a visit or an accident. That doesn't mean you can't fill your induction with images relevant to the information you're delivering to spice up your presentation and back up your points. When it comes to health and safety, things are often far better explained visually rather than verbally. Like this, for example. Oh, fuck! I don't know how that slipped in there. Like this. That's more like it. Remember, a picture is worth 1,000 safety reminders. Fuck. Tip 4, make videos. This tip might take a little extra effort, but it'll make delivering those site inductions a hell of a lot easier, especially if you're delivering multiple site inductions over a period of time. There are lots of non-site specific things that your company will have to do on every CDM project. Things like rules around competencies, requirements around documentation, and processes for accident reporting and reviewing RAMs. This information is the same regardless of the project, so you may as well record it as a video. It's a bit like when you're at school and the supply teacher sticks a video on for the whole lesson and says job's a good one.
You done messed up, Aaron!
However, unlike school, these videos will actually help educate the audience. The real beauty of these videos is that you won't have to repeat the same information to every new group of workers. All you have to do is fill in the site-specific blanks and you can save your voice and be on top form when you have to deliver your legally mandated, impassionate rendition of the Bee Gees' Stayed Alive for the finale of your CDM induction. Tip 5. Don't include generic safety information. The final tip is one you'll hopefully be pleased to hear. A site induction does not have to be a lecture about health and safety. One surefire way of losing the attention of your team is to start listing out generic basic health and safety information that isn't relevant to your particular project. Keep it simple, site specific and relevant. Legally, a site induction only has to cover the policies, procedures, rules and regs that apply to the specific project. Keep it quick, clean and your teams will thank you for it. If you ramble about health and safety, like I do on a daily basis, there's a high risk of you having rotten fruit thrown at you. I speak from experience. But now I'll take my own advice and bring this monotonous lecture to a close. In conclusion, CDM site inductions are a legal requirement. No one really likes doing it, but that doesn't mean they have to be completely painful. If you follow these tips, you and your team might find that site inductions aren't that bad after all. Thank you very much for watching. Drop us a like and subscribe if you found this useful, and I'll see you next time. Perfect.
Nailed it.
Right.